Morning. It's a tough one. Take your time. We all get there in the end, mate.
Yep.
Heading up to Mount Donabuang. Quite steep, but luckily it's nice and cool at the moment. We got into Hillsville last night, had some dinner, and just managed to get the last of the accommodation. I think the guys that came in up after us ended up camping in one of the local parks. Next stop is Warburton, and then a town called Nuji. Hopefully this overcast weather continues, because it's a lot easier than doing it in the heat. About 1:15. We stopped in Warburton for second breakfast about 10:30, and we've been riding for a couple of hours now, about 25 k's or so from Nuji, and we've climbed around 1200 metres. It's pretty hot, about 28 degrees. We're going through this forested area, so we're sort of getting intermittent shade. And hopefully we're going to get a bit of a descent before Nuji. Just tipped on 31 degrees. Been doing a fair bit of climbing. We're up to almost, we're just over 1400. Getting pretty well paced. It's nice and slow. Surprisingly, despite the heat, I still feel quite fresh. The intermittent shade is definitely helping. We made a bit of a mistake last night when we pulled into town. We ducked in, had second lunch, sausage roll and ice creams and all that sort of stuff, and then found somewhere to camp, which is this lovely spot here, which is one of the local restaurants who let us camp here for free. What we didn't realise was the place that we had our second lunch stop at was also the supermarket, which closed at 4. So we didn't buy breakfast before it closed, and hadn't realised. So going to be stuck here a little bit this morning getting some brekkie. Plan for today is to head to Walhalla, which is about 80 kilometres away. Be a fair bit of climbing again. Nice and cool at the moment, but that probably only lasts till about 10 o'clock, and then I think it's going to be another hot one. Catch you later. Heading out of Nuji now. Just had some breakfast, bought some lunch for the day, and in our defence for missing the supermarket last night. It was so small, it made no difference. There was nothing to really buy. We had one guy pull out this morning, first one that we know of, day 2. We're struggling a lot with cramps during the night, and I think dehydration and fatigue yesterday, so he's decided to pull the pin and he's heading back towards Melbourne today. Probably the right call. I mean, if you're struggling at this point, it's only going to get harder and harder to pull out as we get further north, and after Romeo it'll be extremely difficult, and Romeo's not the easiest place to get home from either. I'm reluctant to check what grade it is on the Wahoo.
You want to know?
I don't really.
Okay, I won't tell you. I got rules around it, put it that way.
I'll see you at the other end, mate. I'm sure you'll pass me.
I doubt it. But as you say, all day, yeah?
All day, we've got all day. It's almost midday.
Done about 32 k's, climbed about 900 meters, almost 950. Still very overcast, which is great. Looks like we're finally going to get a reasonably cool day. Climb's been pretty good, undulating up and down pretty much the whole way. It's been some long sections, immediately followed by a downhill and then back up again. So looks like that's the pattern of the day, and maybe even the whole trip. Very little traffic today, which has been good too. Some tight bends, but cars haven't been an issue at all. This fog is amazing compared to what we had yesterday with the heat.
Exactly. Totally different.
There is benefits to pushing your bike, because David's just passing me pushing the bike. We turn off this road in about 400 metres, and I've decided to push until that point. I'm not sure what the next bit of track's like, whether it's more seal road or dirt. I'll take anything at the moment as long as it's flat or downhill. Looks like we've got 43 k's to go. And we've hit the dirt. And lunch. Well, that fog was something else. Really glad that's gone, because it wasn't the best in terms of visibility, and we did have a couple of cars come through. So it looks like we're about 17 k's from Walhalla, and we've climbed about 1800 metres, over 68. So felt like we've been climbing all day, pretty much. I think we have. So it's a lot of vertical, and I think there's still a bit more to come before we get to Walhalla as well. Back on the open road, heading into Rawson and then Walhalla. Stop in Rawson, pick up some breakfast and lunch for tomorrow. Did a food pickup in Rawson, which was interesting. There wasn't much of anything. It's just on 6 o'clock. We're leaving Walhalla bright and early, trying to get to Macola before the post office closes at 5 o'clock to pick up a food parcel. See, one of the big things logistically on this trip is not just the riding and getting from A to B with the hills and elevation. It's trying to purchase food in these very small towns that have scant opening hours. Some of the places you turn up and there's just nothing to buy. Certainly the last couple of days food has been hard to find and very expensive. Anyway, enough for now. Start pedaling and away we go. It's going to be our biggest riding day in terms of distance and elevation today, so we're looking at about 9,800 k's and somewhere around 2.6, maybe 2.5 in vertical.
Onto the descent down to Aberfeldy Bridge. Looks absolutely spectacular.
Much better on is that the campground out there?
Just on 9:30. Been going for about 3 hours on about 910 metres of elevation. Flies are starting to get bad. Okay, that was pretty intense. I'm not sure if there's more rain on the way. It's a little bit dark to the north still, so hopefully we're going to stick around. More rain. Looks like we've just taken a 40-kilometre detour. The Wahoo seems to have directed me onto the main road as soon as we've left the site this morning, and we've basically headed in the wrong direction. But the unit still seems to be giving me directions. It must have been trying to reroute us straight from the start this morning. I'm not sure what it has done, but it's been giving us directions for the last 40 k's. But obviously not the right ones. Plan is from here, head back to Lacola, grab something to eat, get there around lunchtime, a couple of pies or whatever they've got there, and then immediately head out and try and get as far as we can. Okay, we've ridden back to Locola, had some lunch, freshened up, and are restarting the day. Feeling good, nice and refreshed. Frustrating morning, but it was actually a nice ride. The scenery was quite lovely, and we saw the route in reverse, one way and one way back, and it was totally different because it was foggy in the morning and stinking hot on the way back. All right, out for now. I'll check in a bit later. So I've got a fair bit to go, but we've got several options for water and camping, so probably reassess those in a couple of hours. Cloud cover has come back, and while it is still quite warm, you haven't got the sun belting down. The flies though are something else. You can't miss a spot with the fly spray because they're right onto it. Fly spray at times only seems to last 5 minutes and they're back, so yeah, they're pretty intense, getting into the eyes and around the mouth and doing the things that flies always seem to do. Decided to give the legs a bit of a rest and take the bike for a bit of a walk. So it's pretty steep, constantly about 10%. Sometimes walking takes a little bit less effort. First bit of flat ground in about 30 kilometres. Not sure how long it's going to last, but certainly trying to crank up the pace a little bit while it's flat. Just done on 50 k's now, and original plan for the day was 76. We've done a lot more than what we planned for today due to the error with the computer. So we're going to do well over 3,000 metres of climbing today. As it stands now, we've done about 125 kilometres. Yeah, I was really struggling after lunch. About an hour in to the ride, legs started to feel really heavy and I was really having trouble getting any sort of pace or any sort of momentum uphill. Thank goodness came good about an hour and a half ago, and I'm feeling much better. Managed to find some water. Got 10 litres in my dromedary bag. Be able to have a shower tonight, and filled up a couple of extra bottles as well. So I've got about 13 litres, plus David's got another 4, so we're set for cooking, showering tonight, and breakfast, dinner, and away we go tomorrow. So it's all good.